Bungie has shifted the PvP meta for Trials of Osiris once again. With the arrival of Destiny 2, we received update 7201, and with it came a whole slew of buffs, nerfs, and adjustments to weapons in Destiny 2. And now that we've had 48 hours to play Trials of Osiris, we can dive into the data and see which weapons are rising to the top 10 of those charts. First up, in the number 1 slot, we have the exotic shotgun from the Root of Nightmares, the Conditional Finality. No surprises here, this is a very consistent and powerful shotgun. Not only that, but due to the recent game mode adjustment in Trials, the fact that it's now zone Trials permanently makes it so that Wells of Radiance and Bubbles are extremely strong, and Conditional Finality is an excellent option for getting Titans out of those bubbles, especially when they're put on the zone. Previously, in that number 1 spot, we had the Immortal SMG, which was in the number 1 spot for 4 consecutive months, and now we can see that it's still very close to the top, but it has fallen to the number 2 spot. The Adept Immortal, just a little bit below Conditional Finality now. Still an extremely strong and very potent SMG in PvP. Even after all of the rangefinder nerfs and adjustments, people are finding success in using this. Let me know, which perk have you swapped out for rangefinder on your SMGs, whether it's the Immortal or any others. And the third spot here is an absolute wild card. This is not something that I was expecting to be in the top 10. It has been a very long time since we've seen auto rifles rise this high up in the meta in Destiny 2. The Amit AR2 auto rifle is here. A 450 RPM auto rifle makes it into the meta now. I'll definitely have to take this bad boy out for a spin. I will be testing this thing extensively in Trials now that I know this thing is that strong, and I'll be bringing you an updated god roll guide, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on, because that Amit AR god roll guide will be coming to you very soon. The 4th most used weapon is the Matador 64. No surprises there, this is easily the most consistent legendary shotgun in Destiny 2, and for the aggressive players out there, I could easily see them pairing Immortal and Matador together and just simply running at the enemies. Or if you want to play a little bit more mid-range style, you can see that the synergy between Conditional Finality in the kinetic slot and the Amit AR2 in the energy slot has that perfect coverage of both mid-range and close range. But if you're looking for that long range, the best sniper currently in Destiny 2 is still the Cloud Strike, even though it was recently nerfed. I'm still seeing a lot of people using this, and if you are holding hands with your teammates, they still will die to the explosion. It's just that the blast radius of the Cloud Strike explosion has been nerfed to be a smaller radius, so don't hold hands too closely if the enemy team has Cloud Strike. The number 6 most used weapon is the Ace of Spades, and that's the first hand cannon we see break into the top 10 this weekend in Trials. Ace is always such a consistent hand cannon because of its extremely strong damage perk with no timer, and the fact that it gives you your radar at all times while ADSing makes Ace just the best overall hand cannon, and I'm not surprised to see it in the top 10, and it's nice to see some variety here. The number 7 spot goes to the Beloved. A lot of people probably enjoying the fact that you can now craft this due to the Presage mission being back. If you don't know, if you complete it, you're given red borders of this weapon if you haven't already unlocked all of deep sight frames for it. The number 8 spot goes to the exotic hand cannon, the Crimson. Always a very consistent and always a good hand cannon. Another hand cannon goes in the number 9 spot, and that's the Rose. No surprises there. Everyone has known for a while now that Rose is the best overall legendary hand cannon, especially if you got that god roll from grinding out comp. And the number 10 spot goes to the new Unending Tempest SMG. This is the new Shayura's Wrath SMG, a 600 RPM with excellent perks on it, and that rounds out the current top 10 meta in Trials of Osiris. The top 10 weapons being 1, a shotgun, an SMG, an auto rifle, shotgun, sniper, hand cannon, SMG. Are we missing anything here? I don't see any fusion rifles in the top 10, which is a good thing, I think. No bows in the top 10, which I'm happy about. I'm glad that the Le Monarch nerf actually got people to stop using that thing because it was so unbelievably busted. RIP to the Oathkeeper hunters out there. And now let's take a look at the subclass usage rates in Trials to see which subclass is the meta: Titan Hunter and Warlock, and Solar Arc Void, Strand, or Stasis. The most used subclass in Trials of Osiris and PvP goes to Hunter, and of the 5 affinities that are offered to the Hunter, the Solar Hunter is the most used at 11.6%, Strand Hunter at 8.7%, Void at 7.7%, Stasis at 5.6%, and Arc at 3.9%. Arc Hunter being perceived the weakest overall, but doesn't have an extremely low percentage, so I think that's actually a decent balance. And I'm assuming that the majority of hunters are enjoying Solar so much just because of young Hamakara's spine and trip mines being so unbelievably powerful. Throw one of those bad boys on the zone and you're gonna have a really good time. Moving on down to the Warlocks now, which are the 2nd most used class, 32% of the player base using them. The most used Warlock class is of course course, going to be Solar with 15.6%, and that's for Well of Radiance. Second most used affinity is Void at 5.9%. Probably a lot of people enjoying the new Blink helmet, which give you very powerful Void souls in PvP. The third most used subclass is Arc at 4.5%. Stasis at 3.8%, which I think is actually super underrated. Stasis Warlock is easily one of the most powerful classes. It's going to take some people some time to figure out just how powerful this is, but when you use Stasis Warlock right, you can win almost any 1v1 engagement. And the least used Warlock subclass goes to Strand Warlock. Now moving on down to the least popular of the three classes, and that is Titan now. Titan's made up 30% of the player base in Trials this weekend so far, with 14.1% being, of course, Arc Titans, which I'm really surprised because Void Titan is just objectively better now. You literally get your super so much faster if you're using Void Titan, and Bubble is way better for zone trials because you can literally bubble the zone. I think it'll take the community some time to catch up with this news, but eventually people are going to start coming to the realization that Bubble Titan is definitely the play, and significantly better than Arc, in my opinion, as a Titan main that plays PvP semi-regularly. Void Titan made up the second most used class currently though at 11.8%, and then it's a staggering drop off from there. I mean, these last three Titan subclasses have such low percentage of usage rate. Almost no one is using this. Solar Titan at 1.9%. Holy crap, no one is a Solar Titan. Strand Titan at 1.8%. No one's using that. And Stasis Titan, Behemoth at 0.6%. If that doesn't tell you that Behemoth needs a buff, I don't know what will. Nobody using Behemoth in PvP. The most used exotic armor pieces, if you're looking to understand the meta in PvP, are as follows. Ophidian Aspect, the number one most used at 11.5%. Stompy's still up there, the number two most used exotic at 8.5%. Antea Swords, which I think are probably the most powerful exotic in PvP at 8.1%. If you're aping around with shotguns using Antea Swords, you're going to be absolutely destroying people. The number four most used exotic, Transversive Steps. 5 goes to the Wormhusk Crown. 6 goes to Dune Marchers. After that, we have Young Hamakara Spine, which I think is the best exotic for hunters. Then we have Syntheseps, Peacekeepers, Knucklehead Radar, which recently got a rework, Osmiomancy Gloves. People are really enjoying their Stasis Turrets. The Peregrine Greaves, which people are probably using to take people out of their bubbles, or just enjoying those one-hit kill shoulder charges. The Mask of Bakris, which has excellent utility and movement. One-Eyed Mask, the Sixth Coyote, and lastly is the Bombardiers. Now, obviously, the Trials meta will shift from week to week, so keep that in mind that these weapons and these subclasses will adjust as people receive this information, and we'll be bringing you updated videos when we do get updated information. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on, smash the like button, and click on the screen here to watch another video from this channel. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.